Hey, welcome to the Monday show. It's Level 3 Focus. My name is Ultra David. That's James.
How's everybody going?
And we're starting off fresh at 8:30 as we always do.
Of
for
course.
people on
YouTube. Mm-hmm.
That's our common start time, if you're not aware. Maybe you can't watch the show live. That's what it is. Today we're going to continue from a series that we started 2 weeks ago, which was introducing Ultra Street Fighter 4. Typically when a new game comes out, we introduce it. We talk all about the basics, and then we talk all about the characters. Not all about, but kind of introduce.
Right. Hopefully what we can do is also get this out right before EVO starts, and then that way some people can actually watch this a little bit, get an idea of what the characters do and
exactly
stuff like
right.
that.
So already on YouTube is the first part of this, the basics, the game engine stuff. That's already up on YouTube. You can go check it out at youtube.com/UltraChenTV. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is going to be the characters. What we're going to do is go alphabetically. 44 characters, so this is going to take a little bit of time, and hopefully, we're not going to get to spend that much time per character. And in fact, if you're watching this live, and we do start to spend more than just a few minutes per character, please let us know. Just be like, look, you guys are spending too much time on whatever character. Because I'd like to get to sleep at some point.
Yeah, pretty much. Same here. Okay, so let's go over and head to the game.
Do you think that fixed it?
Oh, I think I know what happened. Okay, I know what happened. Jeez. Alright. There we go. That'll fix that one. Okay, so what happened here was that the thing that I had to change. So the way XSplit works is that every button that I hit down here has their own audio settings. So if I change the audio settings, it doesn't affect it for all of them. So I changed it for the one that showed us on camera, and I didn't change it on all the other ones. So now I've got to save the presentation. Oh, okay.
This shirt I've had for like most of a decade probably, so where I got it, I couldn't even tell you at this point.
Wow,
honestly.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's the nice thing about once you get old is that
Right?
you can keep the same clothes for a long
why not?
time. As long as they don't go out of style. And
It's like a striped shirt. It's not
yeah,
gonna go out of
well, I
style,
mean,
right?
dude, this shirt is old too, trust me. This shirt is probably older than CJ Truth, frankly.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So,
Speaking of not going, I'm going out of style.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All right, let's get back to this thing. Remember, the game is not yet on the thing.
Okay. So let's see. Hopefully people can hear us here, right? You guys can hear us here? You guys can hear us here? Hopefully people can hear us here still. Okay, so basically Abel is a grappler. And what his whole goal is, he's trying to get inside so that he can grab you with the tornado throw. And he's going to try to use the threat of the tornado throw to get a lot of things going. For example, if you think he's going to grab you and you neutral jump, right? So neutral jump with Adon real quick. He can hit you with something like that. And then
Down fierce.
Yeah, so if he hits you with down fierce at the second hit, then he can get, Ultra One or all sorts of crazy stuff like that, right?
I think the other big part of it is the step kick, toward medium kick, dash cancel it into mix-ups or damage.
Right.
So there's kind of the two ways that he plays offense. One is the command grab mix-ups, and the other one is with step kick as a footsie tool or a punish, or to create a mix-up game.
Right. And the power of this mix-up game is after he does this and goes for tornado throw, he can't be thrown.
Right. Yeah. Tornado throw is
throw invincible. So you're gonna see a lot of players try to measure their distance out with this, because when it whiffs like this, that's just in range for the step kick. So they'll be measuring distance with this, get the step kick in there, and then either go for tornado throw or go for some mix-up.
Yeah.
And then, hopefully go for this in the Ultra or something like this, right?
So he's a big damage character. There are definitely some execution requirements with him because toward beating pick dash cancel close fierce is like a one or two frame length, I think.
Right.
It's not terribly easy. But yeah, he's a mix-up character. The way that you see him played at a highest level is pretty varied. There are people who go in a lot. There are people who play lame actually. Rico plays a lame Abel.
And when we say lame, we don't mean it's bad.
No.
That's just the terminology for playing a very defensive, careful version of it. So,
Exactly. No, that's pretty much Abel.
Yep.
I mean, he's an interesting character. There's a lot of spacing about him.
Yeah,
and there are
but
lots of frame traps and command grabs.
Yeah, and just definitely look out for this is the key move right here. You're going to be seeing a lot of this in the tournament from Abel players.
Definitely.
Okay, so
Okay,
Adon.
here's Adon. How would you characterize Adon?
Adon's kind of a very footsie-heavy pressure character. He's got great normals. His low roundhouse and his stand roundhouse are two of the best normals in the game, especially because that one hits twice. A lot of characters who have good footsies like that, if you focus, you can try to punish those kind of pokes. But since his hits twice at closer ranges, it's very hard to do that.
Right. He has a big chip damage and kind of frame trap aspect to his game with this thing.
Right.
Jaguar kick. There's an air version as well. I can't really do the instant air version, but it's a huge pressure tool for him.
Right. The two advantages that the ground one is an armor breaker, so you can't focus it, and you can buffer into it, for example, like low strong into Jaguar kick to get pressure. Or if you do the air one, it's just any character that can change the jump trajectory that they have automatically is kind of more powerful than a lot. It's a very useful tool to have to be able to change your air trajectory. So what he wants to do is pressure you at a range, because if you notice, the perfect footsie range for him is also the perfect Jaguar kick range, and so he kind of wants to control that medium space. And then once he gets inside, he'll use his very awkward jump to do lots of ambiguous cross-ups and stuff and go for big combos off of that.
Yeah, even when he's right next to you, he can cross you up, which is really, really rare in this game.
I'm trying to do that. See, I'm not hitting
almost
anybody.
nobody else gets that.
Yeah.
So he's a versatile character. Right. He has mix-ups up close. He has a good mid-range game. He has a good pressure game. He has great walk speed, as you can see, so he can play good footsies.
And
a lot of stuff going for him.
And like Jaguar Tooth, the off-the-wall move, that move and the air Jaguar kick are both great at getting him in. So a lot of characters like, for example, like Sagat and Dhalsim, who are good at keeping people out, doesn't really apply to Adon as well as it does against a lot of other characters.
In this new game, he has a nice usage for red focus, which is crouching fierce red focus. See how big his crouching fierce is. In previous versions, people would buffer this into super. But now there's no need. You can just do that right into red focus and then whatever combo you want.
I swear it never misses too. Like there's like no range.
It's really tough. In footsies, if he hits somebody's outstretched limb, he's not gonna.
Right.
He's not gonna be able to do that. Oh, maybe he will be. But yeah, it's a really, really good tool. So he's a really, really good character.
Yeah, very strong character. In fact, if you guys saw the 4Gamer interview just recently, they still have him rated very high. The Japanese players, when they're talking about it, still have him rated very high. Although, I know GamerB, who's one of the top... Oh, we should talk about who to look for these characters. So, GamerB, obviously
GamerB.
the premier Adon.
He's really it.
he's really the only one that you really need to
And boxing.
pay attention to. Well, the main guy that is, most people are going to guess is going to go really far in the tournament.
Right.
But even he thinks that Adon is significantly weaker thanks to delayed wake up and stuff like that.
A lot of people are saying that about their characters.
Pretty much. As for Abel, you mentioned Rico Suave. Another great Abel is Gustavo, aka 801 Strider.
In Japan, there's Shiro, who has gone back to Abel.
Is he coming to Evo, do you know?
I'm not sure if he's coming to Evo, but that's a big guy to watch.
Right. Okay. Actually, let me do one thing really quick.
Sure.
Always remember to memory. Alright, so the next character is Akuma. Pretty much, he's a glass cannon. He has so many offensive he's like super strong in every
versatile.
category. Yeah, very versatile. He just has very low health.
Right, and when we say very low, we mean average-ish is kind of like 1,000 or 950, and his is 850.
Right.
So it's less, but it's not so much less.
Right. Yeah. But it's less enough that you'll feel it.
Yeah,
That if he gets hit, he will die pretty fast compared to other characters.
Sure.
But again, just like Adon, great footsie character. Probably, I still think he has the best sweep in the game. I honestly think this is the best sweep. Maybe it's a little bit arguable now. He can't cancel into Raging Demon. Oh, into Ultra Raging Demon. But I still think it's one of the best sweeps in the game.
So he has these good mid-range options in that. Yeah, there's a big one. Do Far Stand Fierce also.
Oh, jeez, yeah. This move
Which is cancelable.
Improved now because before one of his weaknesses is block and do a headbutt after my low forward,
Okay.
right? So even at point blank range, it was not a true block string to do that. But now if you low block and I do this, you can't do anything about it. So this is a huge buff for him. Nice little tool. He's great at defense because he's got an uppercut, and jump back air fireball is really tough for a lot of characters to deal with. Because in order to hit him when he does it this low, you really have to predict it and go through. And if he jumps and does nothing, then he can punish you for things.
Right. He has the teleport, of course,
Yeah.
big part of mobility and wake up game. You can cancel out of it into Ultra 2 at any point until just about the very end.
And then, of course, one of his tools that did get nerfed is the Vortex. So he has the Vortex, which is...
Well, what do you mean by Vortex?
Vortex basically is a mix-up that the result leads into the same mix-up, essentially. So, for example, if I get a throw off of you, I can jump up and do cross-up Hurricane. I don't know the timing exactly, but if he hits you with the cross-up Hurricane, for example, is Balrog one of them? No, he's not one of the ones. So some characters you can juggle with the sweep. But if you hit him with the sweep, then you can do... demon flip shenanigans, kind of do nothing in the throw. He's got safe jumps off of there, and they all lead into more of it. Now, thanks to the delayed wake up, it's a little bit nerfed, but overall, I don't think it's too terrible. And like we said about the red focus with Adon, now that his Stand Fierce is cancelable, he has a really potent red focus tool. So.
He I still think is one of the best characters in the game. There was an interview with some top Japanese players that came out recently where they would put him more like not mid-tier exactly, but like top third or maybe top...
Yeah, he wasn't even top 10.
No, he wasn't top 10. Yeah, he wasn't top 10. He was maybe like top 15 or top 20.
Right.
So like in the top half, but worse, considerably worse. I don't think that's right. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see. As far as players to watch for, a couple of the best players in the world use Akuma.
Yep.
Tokido's sticking with Akuma, and Infiltration is also sticking with Akuma for most of his matchups. He's already done great. He won just recently.
Yep, at CEO.
Yep. So still a very capable character, very versatile. You're going to see a ton of things from him.
Right. Okay. Balrog. So how would you describe Balrog's game?
Balrog is a mid-range footsie character. He has some pressure options and like okay defensive options, but mostly he's about this range. You want it a little bit farther even. That kind of thing. He has good buttons in about this range too. Great sweep.
Great stand jab too.
Great stand jab. He can really check a lot of things with it. He has his mix-up game is basically a counter hit or throw game. So he has some damage out of counter hits. I don't really remember what they are. I don't know.
It's stand roundhouse.
Right, stand roundhouse. But I forget what the whole spiel is.
Right.
But he can play pretty good mix-ups in that way. He doesn't have a cross-up. He doesn't have a command grab. He lacks a lot of what other characters have. But his pressure game, if you see somebody like PR Balrog play it, who's the best boxer in the world, he really makes it work out well.
Right, and one of the new tools that he has, I'm curious to see if we're going to use, is the light dash swing blow.
Right.
Because this used to be very punishable.
Oh, I wasn't blocking.
You weren't blocking, yeah, exactly. So it used to be very punishable even on block and stuff like
block
that.
it.
Yeah, but now I can't. But he can't combo off of it, whereas he can off of the heavy one, for example. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So
again, that's really it. He has, he has armored moves. These all have armor on them. Yeah, as you can see.
Right.
His headbutt kind of sucks, which is this. You can low profile it, just do like crouching medium kick or something, or beat it.
Right.
Yeah, depending.
Right.
So you have to do EX. EX will beat things, it doesn't lose, but it still does get low profiled by some things.
And it's gonna be a Hail Mary for a lot of
Yeah.
Balrogs, so whenever they hit it, they can combo into Ultra 1.
Right. So he has turnaround punch, so he's gonna be moving around, holding this, which he can let go whenever he wants.
Right. The whole key to this, the reason why turnaround punch becomes important is because he's a charge character. So as soon as he walks forward, he can't do dash punch anymore, which is a huge problem. Only medium.
Yeah, that was medium.
That
It's just
was
whiffing.
medium? Oh man.
It
Wonderful.
whiffs? What?
Hold it for a second. Try that. Hold
Okay.
the. There you go. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a weird problem.
He doesn't have a good focus attack. You can see this
No.
thing. It doesn't have very good range. It doesn't really hit the floor. Nevertheless, you'll see PR Balrog use it pretty well. So.
Yep. Okay, but another key thing about him is that as soon as you walk forward, you lose your charge, so you've got to rely on footsies and turnaround punch, and that's something that you will see PR Rog do a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who are good at fighting him aren't going to be scared of the turnaround punch. If they see it, like do it, they'll just throw him.
Yeah, same thing with EX, whatever's.
Right.
All get thrown.
Yep.
Okay.
So his defense is not very good. He's not. I wouldn't say he's considered one of the stronger characters, strongest characters.
He's a good character, but he is definitely not among the top tier.
Yes, exactly. All right.
So let's move on to Blanka and Sea Viper.
Blanka.
By the way, we put Balrog in there because in the American Reckoning he is Balrog rather than M. Bison. We call him Boxer because there's that little, kind of weirdness about the names, and Boxer is an easy way to do it.
So I'll put you on Blanka here.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because Viper, I don't even know if I can do Viper stuff, to be honest.
I'm not even gonna try.
That's why I picked her.
Okay.
So, Blanka, I swear I feel like he's undervalued in Ultra.
Oh,
I think he's a lot better now, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, I think he sucks.
Really? Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Not that he's terrible, but that he is among the lower portion of the class.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put him anywhere higher than high tier. I would have him he would be bottom half for sure.
Yeah.
He would be bottom half for
Okay.
sure, but I don't think he sucks. Let's
Yeah,
put it
okay.
that way.
Okay, fine. So anyway, let's see. If I were to describe Blanka, I would say he's a mid-range character who can be played as a shenanigans character.
Yeah, I feel like he's he switches between being super defensive and really shenanigansy. He switches back and forth.
Right. So
really
he has these buttons in the mid-range. This is okay. This blows up crouching medium kicks.
Right.
Well, yeah,
Oof.
like that.
Ow.
Yeah, it's really good. This, he has these options, jab. He has a great one in slide, which is really good for going under projectiles. It makes it really hard for some projectile characters to throw fireballs. But other than that, he has Blanka balls, right? He has fierce one, which always knocks down now. Jab and strong, which goes set distances.
Right, which are much safer on block, not against Viper in particular, but
they still get punished by a lot of characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. EX goes through projectiles, doesn't knock down. He has better wake-up game now than he did before, because you can now FADC out of up ball, which you couldn't do before.
And the majority of his shenanigans are going to come from surprise forward and surprise back, the hops.
Which is the hop. So he has this hop, which is all kicks in either toward or back. It looks a lot like a dash, as you can see. This is dash.
Right.
This is the hop, right? Hop will go through people, dash will not. So you have little mix-ups like
knock him down or something.
like this, right? That doesn't go through people, but this one does.
Right.
So like it's stuff like that. This is not throwable after just a couple of frames.
Right.
Close medium kick, you can link to like stand jab.
And he's got a nice cross-up short. His jump is really fast, so that he can
kick.
combo. Is it
In
medium?
this, in this game it's medium kick.
Oh, I'm thinking super turbo.
Yeah.
Okay. So the nice thing about it is he can combo after it pretty easily into jab, electricity, for example, and stuff. So
I don't know how to do electricity. And a lot of times when you see him played, it's either as this kind of up close, oh I'm going nuts kind of guy, or it's as a very patient, press buttons sometimes in the mid range, walk backwards a lot,
because the nice
do
thing
some crouches.
Because when he's charged down, his EX up ball is so hard to get in on. So like, you can do it so early and fast that you don't even have to do it last second, and you tend to hit people out of the air.
Right. So. But not a great character because not a lot of damage at once. His buttons are okay but not great. His mix-ups are okay but not great.
Right.
He has some liabilities.
I really like jump around, hot, slow forward, Ultra 1 now. It's so much easier to do than it used to be. So, like you barely have to time it now. So, and it reaches really far. But Viper is another vortexy character. Really, most of her shenanigans are going to come from air burn kick, right? So the problem is ground burn kick. If I do burn kick on the ground, it doesn't hit behind. But if I can do instant air burn kick like this, it will hit behind. And pretty much nobody ever does ground burn kicks except for the EX one. Outside of that, it's the air one. So what she wants to do is, the nice thing about her is that all of her moves can be faked. Fainted like this. So she has this great move which is Seismo, which hits low. So against a lot of people you have to respect this while you're walking around, but there's a lot of lag to it. So if you predict it and jump over her, she's gonna die like this, right? So the beautiful part is that you can just fake it before it comes out. If you hit 2 punches, she fakes it like this, right? So if you just do that a lot, then they have to guess when you're actually gonna do it. EX Seismo comes out a lot farther, automatically tracks, so you don't have to aim it.
It doesn't track.
Not from full screen, right? I mean, if I do it here...
It just hits...
No, see, it tracks.
It just hits, like this big old section of screen. It doesn't track. No, I mean, it hits, like, this half of the screen.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay. So,
Anyway.
It hits a giant chunk. And so, it, same thing with their Thunder Knuckle, too. So, this is a great poke. This is a great little way to get chip damage, get some pressure in there. And again, this can also be faked, right? So you can do, for example, like this. And then once you get in there, you can do all these crazy mix-ups. I don't know if I can do it. Go for throws and all sorts of stuff. And the nice thing is, whenever she gets you into the corner, she gets a lot of combos into ultras like this, and if you time it right.
Yeah. Not a character that either of us really uses.
Yeah.
But she's an extremely versatile character. She's, I think, one of the best characters in Ultra SF4 now. She has this zoning that James has been talking about, which is good against characters that don't have great mobility, like a Zangief or a Hugo or something like that. She has great pressure, huge damage when she gets something like a Crouching Fierce. Into just big old damage stuff. Yeah, I mean it's good luck.
I haven't practiced in a long time.
Very high execution barrier.
Right,
so if you're into characters that are versatile with big damage and stun potential, big mix-ups and execution, then she's a great character for you.
Yeah, and then whenever you land this, you get air burn kick, and then you get more mix-ups, etc., etc. So.
And she also has this good mid-range option into Red Focus.
Right, which is based off of this low forward here.
Right.
And then I get to do whatever I want at this point in time. So this is really potent. One thing you have to take advantage of is the fact that low forward and the Thunder Knuckle is not a true block string.
Right.
But then it's really easy for her to next time do like, oh, I faked it, and then blow you up.
Right. But yeah, very good character. Has a lot of stuff going for her.
Yeah. Very strong character.
Yeah. Not many people play her. And I feel like part of that is because of the execution requirements.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure who's going to EVO exactly. I know Latif is going to EVO, former top EVO placer.
Yeah, former second placer.
Second place at EVO. Wolfkrone, I believe, is going. I'm not sure if he's still playing Viper or not.
Jace the Ace, obviously, is a very strong Viper player. Actually, most of the strong Viper players are in the States.
It's true. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but that is the case. As far as Blanka's to watch, I would
that's
say...
the other thing, too, I should mention about
Sure.
her is that she's got the high jump, too.
Yes.
Which lets her cancel normal moves, so if you're really good at doing this into instant air burn kick, you can get mix-ups even off of normals like that.
Right.
So.
Very, very versatile.
Yeah.
As far as top Blankas, I would say probably Nishikin is #1 to watch. He went to CEO, but he's a Japanese player. He's been playing for a really long time. He's really good. What's the name of the dude who starts with an M from Japan? No, I don't remember.
I don't know.
But he's been playing since forever. There are definitely some good Blankas out there, but kind of a struggling character.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
He's a character to pick if you want to pick kind of like an annoyance sort of character. I feel like he's an annoyance character in both footsies and in pressure.
Yeah, he will bank off of you getting frustrated.
Right.
That's his whole goal, is to get you really.
Mizuteru, that's who I'm talking about.
Mizuteru, okay.
Thank you.
All right, so.
Yeah, if you're talking about American Blankas, you're probably talking about Insane. He's probably.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
There are a couple others.
Okay.
AKA Coach Steve. All right, who's next?
Cammy and Chun Li.
Oh, okay.
So here we go.
By the way, we're just picking double ultras so we can show off
Ultras
if we're
too.
interested,
Yeah.
if they're particularly of note.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard Crone saying that he wants to retire because he doesn't like Ultra right now and stuff like that, which I don't understand because his character only got buffs.
I think he even was playing Poison because he played Poison Hugo in Cross Tekken.
That's right.
So I don't know what he doesn't like about the game. But anyway, let's talk about Cammy.
So Cammy is another. We talked about this with Viper a little bit and with Akuma. She's a Vortex character. So basically, her whole goal is to knock you down with a back throw, or get you into a combo into drill, and then just go for good mix-ups. And her mix-ups largely come from the fact that she has this dive kick that if you time it right, you know, you can do a quick rise. Like you can actually, you know, get it ambiguous enough. I don't know if it works very well on Chun Li, but you can mix people up that way. You can also do cross-up short, empty jump, which is a K-Brad specialty. The empty jump low short and gets a lot of people. She does a ton of damage off of her combos. Whoops, wrong button. You know, and now one of the new things that you can do is, you know, if I got that second link right, you can do a bunch of combos. Her damage and her stun has been reduced a little bit, so it's not as effective as it was before. But really, honestly, the two main things that the thing that makes her dangerous is this. Right there. It's just this jump. Because she has one of the best jump attacks in the game. This roundhouse is ridiculously far. And then, again, we mentioned before that if you can change your flight path or your timing of your jump, you become really powerful. And because she has the dive kick, and especially the EX dive kick, which puts people in stun for days, she's a super strong character for that reason. Again, it's very dangerous if she gets back throws because you can see you're down there for days. She's got mix-ups. Delayed wake-up helps, but delayed wake-up doesn't work off of the dive kick. And not only that, but because the dive kick lands so fast, so don't quick rise this time, like she can actually do like dive kick, oh you didn't do anything, and then go for more mix-ups and stuff like that. And then up close, she's got this to blow up crouch techs. So if you try to counter, so she, basically you're so scared of the back throw like this, that, you know, as soon as you think she's gonna do it, then she catches you with this instead when you touch a button and you get beat up. So she's really a burst damage character. She's one of those characters that you'll see her do nothing for a long period of time, then get in once and then just kill somebody like instantly. So
she has great mobility, decent mid-range buttons,
super fast walk speed.
Very very fast walk speed. She has a dragon punch that's pretty solid. I mean, it's a dragon punch,
and a great backdash. One of the best backdashes.
So versatile character again, but definitely with an eye toward playing offense.
Yes.
That's really where her bread is made.
She wants to get in. In fact, if you guys are familiar with Smug, she's actually kind of similar to Dudley.
She's kind of a Dudley. I mean, they're both kind of from the same strain.
Right. Exactly.
Get in, do big damage, do big mix-ups, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Kind of on the opposite end of things is Chun Li. Chun is a very strong mid-range character. She has these great buttons in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, great range on her moves.
Lots of great stuff. Yeah, great range, lots of safety in there. Really can't be punished by most characters. Right. She has a, let's see, how do you do this? Is it charge in this game?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
charge,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Her fireball. What are you doing?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She has a fireball, and she has 3 pretty different versions, which you can all have different animations. You can see faster or slower, etc.
Yeah, the slower one goes farther. Right. So this one will actually
Boink.
cross. Yep.
That goes away.
The fierce one does not.
Exactly. She has decent mix-ups. She can play a pretty good frame trap game. She can play. She definitely has like cross-up shenanigans and whatnot. You don't see that too often, but she has them. Her wake-up game is not very good.
Yes.
So
if she has no meter, that's the main thing.
If she has no meter, then it's terrible. She doesn't really have any options. Even with meter, though, all she has is this spinning bird kick. Doesn't do much damage. It can be jumped over.
And if it's blocked, it's very punishable.
Super punishable.
Right. I could have ultraed that, frankly.
Right. She has a great backdash, though. She has this great mobility. As you can see, great walk speed, great backdashes, great dashes. Ability to play mix-ups from the air with jump fierce, or jump fierce into, well, that's supposed to be crouching short, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, her backdash is going to be one of her keys. One of the things
definitely.
that you're going to see from a lot of players is the focus backdash against jump attacks. Because her anti-air is so bad, a lot of people will just do that, and it's really hard for most characters to chase her down.
Right.
Like Cammy can probably do it with a stand roundhouse, but I have to totally be expecting
Sure,
it
I
and
can
stuff
let
like
focus
that.
go and blow you up.
Right, exactly. So I can just, and I might even get counter hit actually now that I think about it.
A big thing to know about her too is that her focus dash is really, really good.
Yeah.
You're gonna see this kind of pressure a lot. She's one of the few characters that's actually safe after doing level 1 focus dash toward. That almost never happens. Just a few characters get that. So
Right.
she can make offense. She has great mid range. Not great defense, but you'll see Chun's oftentimes kind of set stuff up in the mid range, and some want to play offense, some don't. Depends on the matchup. But she's a pretty good character.
She's better in this one for
Certainly
sure.
better now than she was before.
Let me see her real quick.
Sure.
I just want to try one fancy combo.
All up to you.
One fancy combo. Here. Oh, I missed it. Alright. There we go.
Well.
There we go. That's
James
my fancy
Chan.
guy. That actually is the one-handed terror. I learned that from him.
Okay,
Sebastian.
sick.
Yeah.
All right.
The dash is superfluous. That's just for style.
Oh,
You don't
rad.
need to do
Okay.
it, but yeah.
She has a way to deal with fireballs in Ultra, it goes right through fireballs.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast. And her other Ultra is a combo Ultra. Really good for mid-screen stuff or wherever, I guess. If you get EX.
Yeah, this connects after everything. And it's actually a legitimate anti-air now.
Yeah.
If you can predict it, because it doesn't trade anymore. It's invulnerable all the way through the first frame. So.
Okay. As far as players to watch, for Cammy, I would say K-Brad is one to watch. Aqua, Aqua and Xiaohai are probably.
Is Aqua coming?
Yeah, Aqua's coming.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah, so those are probably the 3 players to watch, I would say, most. Alioun is another one to mention. He put in a lot of work with her. I don't know if he's sticking with her, though.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm just not sure.
He's actually been playing a lot of Decapre recently.
Right, that's what I've heard. So, again, if he's playing her, of course he's one to watch. I'm not sure if he is. As far as Chun Li's, I'm not really sure. I mean, Broly Legs, whatever, I was going to joke, but no need to. He's a good player to watch. But I don't know who else is really coming for Chun Li.
Yeah,
I'm
There's
not
not
sure.
a lot. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people have talked about picking her up. Ricky Ortiz has talked about
Yeah.
picking her up, but I don't think he's going to use her for Evo.
I guess-
it's too soon. You know what I mean?
I guess Infiltration has a Chun Li.
Oh
that
yeah,
he's
yeah.
used.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
We saw K-Brad Chun Li at CEO,
right,
so
yeah.
people might bring her out as a counter pick.
Yeah, she was one of those characters that in 2012 was.
Oh, Nash fan is one to mention. That's true.
Yeah, in 2012 she was always considered a super weak character. Then towards the end, all of a sudden she had a resurgence. Didn't seem as weak as she was, and then all of a sudden she got buffed. So now I think she's going to be a character that after Evo we'll see a lot more of.
I didn't know that Valmaster is coming. I was unaware of
is
that.
he?
That's awesome.
Oh,
People
that's
are
so
saying
sick.
so.
Okay,
Valmaster
okay.
is a really top Chun Li player in Europe. Definitely a guy to watch.
He beat
Very strong.
Ryan Hart in a tournament versus Sagat, which I've heard to some people said that Cammy can't beat. I mean, sorry, Chun Li can't beat Sagat, but he did it. So you know, obviously he's good enough of the character that he can prove people wrong.
Cool. Okay. All right. Let's do another one before taking a break.
Sure. So this is gonna be Cody and Dan.
Yeah.
I'll pick Dan. You can be Cody.
That's fine. Whatever.
Dan is so much better than people give him credit for, dude. It makes me so upset. I played with one of Olaf's friends.
Oh, Valmaster is not going to Evo? Why are we talking about this? Okay, fine. Valmaster is not going to Evo, but if you want to look up a great Chun Li player, look up Valmaster, Valmaster.
Yeah. I actually just got to play against Olaf Redland's friend, Olaf and his friend recently. His friend used Hugo and Dan. So I was like, you're like mini David. It was so interesting.
Those are my dudes.
Yeah, exactly. His Dan was really annoying too.
Talk to me about Cody.
Cody is a very frame trap heavy character. He wants to get in and catch you a lot with good frame traps. He has really good frame traps because he can stay in thanks to the stomach blow here, the towards and medium punch here. Allows him to stay in very well. He's got scary frame traps if I turn on counter hits, for example. Actually, I don't know if it'll work if you're human, right?
Actually, I don't think it does.
Yeah, it doesn't. But if he actually gets you, for example, he can do tons of damage with like that into something, you know, and all sorts of crazy things like that. There we go. But also, yeah, I mean, mostly he just wants to get in kind of close at you and keep the pressure going here, because once he gets inside, you know, it's scary because he can turn little hits into a lot of damage. And then another thing about him is that he has a really terrible backdash, so he's actually pretty bad on defense. If you can knock him down, he has a lot of weaknesses here. Like one of his best options may be you can't do bad spray on hard knockdown, can you?
Nope. Yeah. Bad spray is only...
Is it up and punch?
Dude, I have no idea.
Up and kicks. Oh, okay. This is actually one I don't know. Alright, whatever then. Okay. But he can do bad spray.
He has some zoning options that we'll show you in just a sec. With Badstone, it's called. I just found out. That's
the rocks.
Unique attack.
Yeah.
Bad spray during recovery. Up and punch.
I did do... That's what I did.
I don't know, man.
Interesting.
Well, anyways, he has that option. It's a weird little get-up tool that he has. So anyway, he has the zoning option. He can hold the rock, right, and let it go whenever. He can also do a fake rock. Yeah, just like that. Those are okay. He has anti-air stuff in whatchamacallit. It's not crack kick, but
this?
No.
Ruffian kick?
Yeah, ruffian kick is the word.
Okay.
Roundhouse ruffian kick. That's roundhouse, right?
Yeah.
He has that great anti-air and back strong like you were talking about.
Yeah, and
really good.
And this is just a really good tool here to have because it can help him get in and it goes over limbs and stuff. Even if you don't hit him, you can go over limbs and then catch him with low short, tornadoes and stuff like that, criminal uppers and such.
So he's mostly a big damage character, but in some matchups he wants to play mid-range game too, which he can do. Yep. He's not a great character, but he's a good character. And he's reasonably versatile, just an assy wake-up.
Yep.
For players of Cody, Momochi used to use Cody. I don't think he really does anymore.
No, he uses mostly Ken now.
Yeah.
Right, so.
But if you want to go back in time to see a good AE 2012 Cody, you can do that. There's a player in I guess in NorCal actually now, named DJ Unchained.
Right. He's probably he's like the only Cody I can think of.
Harrison plays Cody.
I remember Chris who used to play Cody a little bit.
I feel like I'm missing somebody. Pai Chin?
Is it Chin who plays him?
I believe so, not 100%. Yeah, it's Pai Chin. So anyway, there's some players to watch.
I actually don't know any Cody combos anyway.
I don't know if Sasaki is still playing, but that was a name somebody mentioned Sasaki, so. Okay, anyway. Dan is, as you said, he is slept on. People think he's worse than he is. But he is, in fact, among the lower part of the cast.
He's bottom half, for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely still among the lower characters in the game. But he has some interesting options. He's mostly a pressure character. Where he really wants to be is right here. It's kind of like, these are two very similar characters, actually. Dan wants to be at about this range, right? So he has these really good frame trap options with links that you can link out of. Same with back roundhouse. He has, you can do this a million times. It's really good.
Doesn't push him anywhere.
It's very little pushback. So he has those good normals for frame traps and for combo starters. Another big part of his game is the Dan kick. So light kick, Dan kick is safe on block. It's a focus breaker. It can cross up against a lot of characters. I'm not sure if this works on Cody. Let's find out. Yes,
it does.
Cool. So he's mostly a pressure kind of character.
Yeah, the roundhouse and forward kick Danku Kakus are also really good because if you don't know if he's doing 3, and see how he can always get away with a backdash.
Right, his backdash is really good.
Because he's -2 on Danku Kaku. And so, like, you can try to throw him, but then he can uppercut you, or he'll backdash. And then, of course, the EX Danku Kaku is super good because it just comes out so fast. So when you're sitting here trying to think about punishing regular Danku Kaku, he'll just catch you with that. Or, for example, he'll do the regular one, backdash EX1 and catch you, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the better EX moves in the game. He has big damage output, actually. Not that I'm gonna be able to do this. Wow, did I seriously just do that? Wow, okay.
You were meant for Dan. You know,
right, yeah, I was even doing one of the easy ones. But he has like legit 400 damage, 700 stun, 2-bar combos that are really solid. His mid-range game is not that great. Right, so his mid-range game is basically medium kick. It's fireball now, which is a little bit better than it was before, but still not great, as you can see. Sweep is kind of slow but safe, good range. And then EX Dan kick.
The other really good thing about him, honestly, is that he is an air trajectory character changer.
Oh, right.
So he can jump and do that. So if for example, if I'm gonna back medium punch him, see how now he's in because that's safe on block, right? So
you can also instant air it for some.
Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah. I'm just trying to show that you can close space with him with instant air, light kick, Dan kick, and be pretty safe and be in somebody's face.
And he's got a legitimate DP. The DP
he has it. Yeah,
works,
he definitely has a DP. So he's, like I said, he's not that great. The reason he's not that great is mostly because of this spot on screen.
Yeah.
He gets asked out in a lot of matchups at this range. He finds it hard to get in. Even when he's close, a lot of characters can actually duck under this stuff.
Can they?
Yes, they can. Or they can do whiff, crouching short, that kind of thing. I think it doesn't work too well for Cody, but a lot of characters can get
right. Like Ryu and Ken's low forward kick, right.
So, as far as players to watch, there's really only one top Dan player. His name is Ixion, plays in Sweden. There are other people who play Dan, but he's really
Eric is pretty good.
Yeah, so Eric in SoCal is a good player. But I would say as far as the top level goes, it's really just Ixion.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention for Cody too, he's got the Zonk, which is a really important move for him.
Oh, did we not mention Zonk?
Because it's one of his only moves that has invincibility. And it's a charge by holding punch and letting go, which actually makes it really good in human to human, like in-person games, because this is a popular Cody strategy. Walk up to people and do this. You don't hear any button presses. You don't see any motions, and so it's very easy to get caught by that. Okay.
So anyway, Dan I think is still probably among the bottom 5 characters, but he's good. In that he has, he has matchups that he wins. He has a lot of matchups that he goes even in. Pick him if you want kind of a challenge, but if you want and if you want a funky character that people sleep on. But if you're talking about gameplay, pick him if you want to play a lot of offense. He's a very offensive character.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, Dan's biggest strength as a character is that everyone thinks he's supposed to be easy to beat. So when you start beating him up, they get nervous.
That does happen.
That is actually one of his biggest strengths. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's going to be Decapre and Dee Jay. So stick around, guys.